So a few years back, YJ released the YJ yuhu V2, which is the best megaminx at that time, which is also very cheap. I don't really use it, but I did for some time. I got some good times, and I think like last month or 2-3 months ago, they released the YJ yuhu V3, which is also quite cheap, and here it is. And so I'm going to do a review and comparison. I'm going to compare the V3 to the V2. So let's talk about the size. So for the size, it's immediate. For the V2, it feels very big. I think it's about like if I have to say, I think it's like 33 millimeters, and for the V3 it's actually quite small. Funny enough, they actually say that it's the golden size for a megaminx, which I could agree is actually quite small, and it's actually quite nice. I feel like big megaminxes just doesn't work as much for me because I have small hands. Here's a size comparison, which is a very big difference. This is like 36 millimeters, 36.6 I think, and compared to the Diane is actually a bit smaller, which is I think it's also 36, but 36.3. So for the size, it's about the same. So now let's talk about the design. For the V2, which is the plastic is glossy, and for the V3, which is matte plastic, and for the grip, it looks a bit smoother on the V3 because the grip is the same, which is has this big circle in it, but for the V2, the edges, I don't know if you can see or not, the edges has these little lines, which also helps with grip, I think. And for the V3, it has a smoother appearance because for the edges it doesn't have the lines as the V2 does. And my favorite grip is always gonna be the Diane with the little concave design. I think the concave works is because it has a very glossy surface. So I think the concave looks very good because it doesn't pop out like too much, the design, so it works. So for the design is actually very interesting, as I talked about the grip. So for the design, it's nothing special. The design is just, oh shit, I have a little pop. Okay, but that's cool. It's the same for this. It's about the same as you think a normal megaminx would look like. It's just big and nice. And for the V3, it has a very interesting design. If you look at the center cap, it has this little holes in it because it makes it a little bit easier to remove the cap, which you only need to put your fingernails in, and you can just pop it off like this. And for some reason in the manual they say that they have the adjustment thingy, but the one I got doesn't have any, so that's kind of a bummer. But I think the design is actually very interesting. And if we look inside, we can see that the edges has little holes in it. I don't know why they did that. It maybe because for the turning, because the turning very feels airy, or it just make it light. And talking about the weight, the V2 is actually quite heavy, not that heavy but just heavy. And for the V3, it's way lighter, and it's easier to just pick it up and do solves, since it doesn't tire your hands out as much. And for the Diane is it's also quite heavy because of the ball core design. Yeah. And as for the turning, the turning of the V2 is fast and clacky. I set up my V2 by making it like very loose and then put some silicone loop in it, so it has a very, I think it has a good turning. Yeah, I think I messed up the algorithm. So as I was talking, it's fast and clacky, which I think I like, but just doesn't like the size. And for the V3 is actually very airy, has an airy feel to it and sounds very clacky. Yeah, I think it's actually quite nice. Yeah, as I was saying, it has a very airy feel to it and a nice sound to it. This is out of the box, by the way. I haven't set this up in any way. And one important thing is that when the V2 out of the box is it's barely usable. The V3, yeah, you can immediately use it off the box because that's what I did. It's nice, and it's also same with the Diane. It's good off the box. You don't need to really set it up in any way. But I did with just some silicone loop. This one is just fast and compact, which the Diane is my main. I don't really see myself using the V3 that much since the Diane is right there. And for the prices, this is very cheap. This is just like some mid-range megaminx. And if you want the best megaminx, you could get the GAN or the Diane. These three has different price tags, with the cheapest, mid-ranged, and the most expensive. And of course they are worth their prices, obviously. So I'm going to do like one solve on this V3. So let's go. Alright, this solve doesn't look too good because I solved the megaminx on the table because that's what I'm used to. And I hope that you don't mind that my face is showing right there. So yeah, go ahead and enjoy the rest of the solve.